Good communication and healthy boundaries are very necessary in any relationship that would last. But what happens when the lines of communication and healthy boundaries are blurred? Welcome to Relationship Matters. My name is Dr. Ufoma Wanchukwu. 2 weeks ago, we started a series on red flags you must not ignore in a relationship. In the first week, we looked at red flags that had to do with manipulation and control. And last week, we looked at red flags that has to do with toxicity and abuse. Have you watched those videos? If you have not, check the description of this video to get access to those videos. Today, we are taking it a step ahead to look at red flags that have to do with communication and boundaries. And the first one we shall be looking at is deflecting and diverting. So you are in a relationship and you bring up a subject of concern, an important one for that matter, that has to do about your future, that has to do about building a healthy marriage, and the person changes the topic. So instead of engaging in that discussion to find a solution to a particular issue, they probably bring up an issue that has to do with finance. The person changes the topic. So whenever you bring up that issue, the person brings up another topic to distract you. That should simply tell you that the person does not want to discuss that issue. And when you are not having a clear communication about a particular issue, how do you agree? The Bible says, how can two work together except they be agreed? So that means the person has decided not to involve you in that part of his life. And especially if the person does it as regards different topics you raise up, the person will just change the topic. That is a red flag you must not ignore. That means the person does not want to allow you access to some aspects of his life. The next one we shall talk about is defensiveness. So maybe you notice an attitude or anything about the partner, and whenever you bring it up, the person is defensive about it. The person never sees anything wrong in what he or she is doing and gives an impression, why are you so particular about this? Why are you taking things too serious and all that? The third one is stonewalling. So the person, just like the issue of deflecting, the person, for deflection, the person brings up something else. But this one, the person just tells you, I don't want to talk about it. Or the person could say, we'll talk about it later. And then later, when you bring up the topic, the person says, either the person who says, I don't want to talk about it, or keeps postponing that issue. That again should let you know the person doesn't want to grant you access to discussion as far as that area of his or her life is concerned. So you should pay attention to be sure if that is what you wish to continue with in marriage. The fourth one we shall be looking at is aggressive and confrontational tone. So whenever the person is talking to you, the person uses a tone that is aggressive or confrontational, or a passive aggressive communicator. So if such things might come up once in a while in a relationship, but then if that is the pattern of consistent communication with that person, know that most likely it's going to continue in your marriage. And then the last one is lack of boundaries. So the person does not respect your boundaries. So you have an employer, you go to work, or even if you are self-employed and you are telling the person between so and so hour is my busy time in the office, so I would appreciate if you don't call me between 12 noon and 3 p.m. And then the person is always breaking those boundaries. If there are emergencies or serious situations that once in a while the person breaks that, it is understandable. But when the person is in the habit of always breaking your boundaries, then pay attention to it. The issue of not respecting boundaries could also have to do with issues like wanting to always have access to your phones, to your emails, or having access to them without your consent, that means the person is not respecting your privacy. As people that are married, it is necessary for us to be open. You should not hide your passwords and all that. But when the person now becomes the one demanding, the person wants to have access and he does not, he just picks up your phone, starts scrolling, goes to your chat and starts having access without consent, it is an issue that you should pay attention to, because your boundaries should be respected in relationships. We shall stop it here for today and we will continue next week. If you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? Kindly do that right away and then hit the notification bell. Thank you and stay watchful.